Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Suits are pressed, the podium is ready, and history is officially loading. Today, we're breaking down a really fascinating document that actually ranks the top 3 most respected presidents in modern history. We're going to look at the exact criteria this author uses to elevate these specific figures above, well, all the rest. But before we get to the ranking, we got to ask ourselves a huge question. What actually separates a leader who just holds power from a leader who commands real respect? It's an absolutely crucial distinction. As the source text outlines, these aren't just people who happen to hold a high office. No, these are leaders who faced literally unimaginable pressure and genuinely earned global respect through the choices they made. So let's see who made the cut. Okay, let's dive into this. Coming in at number 3, we have Franklin D. Roosevelt, the crisis manager. And the historical record definitely backs up that title. I mean, FDR didn't just face one generational catastrophe, he managed 2 of them. We're talking about leading the U.S. through the crippling Great Depression and then successfully guiding the nation through the vast majority of World War II. On top of all that, he introduced the New Deal, which basically fundamentally transformed the American economy. Now, consider this staggering statistic. 4, as in FDR is the only U.S. president to ever be elected 4 times. The author uses this powerful number to highlight his remarkable ability to restore public hope, to project stability when things looked completely impossible to the everyday citizen. The source perfectly summarizes his whole vibe with this really blunt truth. When everything around him was collapsing, between global wars and extreme economic devastation, FDR basically projected the attitude of, "Relax, I've got this." That unwavering calm during extreme global crises is exactly what earns him the number 3 spot on this list. Moving right along to the number 2 spot, Abraham Lincoln, the unifier. So why is he considered legendary in this source material? Well, the author highlights his completely steadfast leadership during the bloodiest conflict on American soil, the Civil War. Furthermore, his pivotal move to abolish slavery via the Emancipation Proclamation really cemented his legacy. Because of those defining actions, the text cites Lincoln as a lasting symbol of unity, equality, and just absolute moral courage. The defining principle here is vital to understanding his rank. According to the text, what made Lincoln truly unforgettable was his ability to hold strong to his principles and put national unity above literally everything else. Just imagine making decisions under that kind of massive, deeply personal pressure from all sides. Which brings us to this really poignant realization from the author. Lincoln didn't just manage his people, he literally carried an entire country on his shoulders. He absorbed the trauma of a divided nation just to make sure it survived. All right, which brings us to the ultimate number 1 spot, Nelson Mandela, the global icon. The monumental achievements that earned Mandela this top crown are laid out pretty clearly. He made history as the first Black president of South Africa. He successfully oversaw the dismantling of the brutal system of apartheid, and perhaps most importantly, he actively promoted national reconciliation over division. Just really think about the gravity of this number. 27 years. That is how long Nelson Mandela spent in prison. And yet, the document makes this incredibly powerful assertion. After losing nearly 3 decades of his life, he still chose peace over revenge. It takes staggering moral strength to emerge from that kind of darkness with a message of unity. His extraordinary humility and moral strength inspired the entire world, going way, way beyond normal politics. As the text emphatically states, Mandela didn't just lead a country, he led humanity. So, let's wrap this up with the final take, the lesson of the day. And this brilliantly illustrates the big takeaway here. Power earns attention, but character earns respect. The whole thesis of this document is that while having power, or a loud voice, or a high office guarantees you're going to get noticed, true lasting respect is strictly earned through your character. It's all about the choices you make when the pressure is immense. But wait, we aren't quite finished, because we have to talk about the outro, a YouTube-style call to action. So there's this utterly fascinating, kind of sudden shift at the very end of this source document. The author intentionally pivots from all this heavy, profound historical analysis directly into a modern promotion. I want to read this bold quote exactly as it appears in the text. Like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel because my content leads better than most campaign promises. It is a remarkably clever transition. The creator takes the concept of good, reliable leadership that we just spent time analyzing and connects it directly to the quality of their own content to tell you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Which brings us to our final provocative thought for this explainer. Does framing historical titans this way actually earn your subscription? It's a wildly unique, highly modern tactic, right? Leveraging historical's greatest, most respected leaders to confidently ask you to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Think about how creators use authority, historical storytelling, and bold comparisons today to capture your attention and earn your loyalty. Thank you so much for joining me as we unpack this document, and I'll leave you to ponder that brilliant little modern twist.